Welcome to News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. Former Sultan of Pahang, Paduka Ayanda Sultan Ahmad Shah, who served as the country's 7th Yang di-Pertuan Agong from 1979 to 1984, has passed away this morning. He was 88 years old. Pahang Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Wan Rosdi Wan Ismail, in expressing his sorrow and grief, announced the death of Sultan Ahmad Shah, who reigned as the 5th Sultan of Pahang for almost 45 years. The late ruler had suffered from health issues for some time, and the state constitution was amended to allow the Pahang Royal Council to sanction his abdication earlier this year. His son, Sultan Abdullah, succeeded him as the 6th Sultan of Pahang on 15th of January. Born at Istana Mangga Tunggal in Pekan on the 24th of October 1930, Sultan Ahmad Shah was the third child and only son of Sultan Abu Bakar and his consort, Raja Ampuan Fatimah Sultan Iskandar Shah. He was appointed Tengku Mahkota Pahang in 1944 when he was just 14 years old. Sultan Ahmad Shah was the 7th Yang di-Pertuan Agong from the 26th of April 1979 to the 25th of April 1984. As his health declined, he appointed Tengku Abdullah as the regent of Pahang on the 28th of December 2016. The Sultan was known as a keen sportsman who loved football, golf and polo. He was also the Football Association of Malaysia president from 1984 to 2014. Meanwhile, Pahang State Secretary Datuk Seri Dr. Salahuddin Ishak said the state would observe a mourning period of 40 days to mark the passing of their former ruler. He also said the Pahang flag will fly at half-mast from today for 40 days, and no entertainment events will be held between 12 noon today and 12 noon this Saturday as a mark of respect. Members of the public can pay their final respects to the former Pahang ruler at the Balairong Seri of Istana Abu Bakar in Pekan from tonight until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Members of royal families, ministers and dignitaries, meanwhile, will be allowed to pay their last respects beginning 11 a.m. tomorrow. The remains of Sultan Ahmad Shah was flown to the Royal Malaysian Air Force RMAF Kuantan Air Base before being taken to Istana Abu Bakar in Pekan. He will be buried at the Royal Burial Grounds next to the Sultan Ahmad Shah Mosque after Zohor prayers tomorrow. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has conveyed his condolences to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah on the death of His Majesty's father. In a statement, the Prime Minister and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, expressed their condolences to Sultan Abdullah, His Majesty's family and the Pahang royal household over the passing of Sultan Ahmad Shah Al-Musta'in Billah Ibni Al-Marhum Sultan Abu Bakar. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail also expressed her condolences to the entire Pahang royal family over the passing of Paduka Ayanda Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah today. Through her Twitter, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah also hoped that Sultan Ahmad Shah's family would be strong in their moment of grief. Other ministers who also expressed their condolences to the Pahang royal family included Defence Minister Muhammad Sabu, Water, Land and Natural Resources Minister Dr. Xavier Jayakumar, Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali, Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, and Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Fuzia Saleh. Police have obtained new leads on the whereabouts of fugitive businessman Loh Teck Jo, better known as Jolo. Inspector General of Police Datuk Seri Abdul Hamid Badur revealed today that the police will do its best to bring back Jolo, who is linked to the 1MDB fiasco, back home in the nearest future.
Saya serius. Ada.
Maksudnya dah kena bas dia dah?
Oh tak, dah lama dah. Tapi dah, semakin hari dia punya nyawa dia semakin apalah, ya. InsyaAllah. Itulah yang dikatakan jenayah ni tak berbaloi. Mana kita nak meluk, ya. Tidak akan selamat di mana-mana pun kalau dah melakukan jenayah.
Datuk Seri Abdul Hamid said this to reporters after a brief visit to the Kelantan side of the Malaysian-Thailand border earlier today. The IGP, however, declined to reveal what sort of new leads had been obtained by his men. He also declined to elaborate when asked by the media if Jolo is hiding in China. Datuk Seri Abdul Hamid said Jolo's actions have plunged the country into high levels of bad debt, adding that the businessman should be responsible for the mess. Furthermore, he said Jolo's move to hide behind his lawyers in Macau and Hong Kong when making statements is also nothing short of cowardice. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Abdul Hamid said the 9th Battalion of the General Operations Force, or GOF, had successfully seized 235 cows, 82 goats and sheep which were being smuggled in from Thailand during 3 separate raids conducted in Pasir Mas, Rantau Panjang since Friday. Now, he said the success proves GOF's commitment in carrying out their duties in protecting the national border from being infiltrated by irresponsible parties. In addition, Datuk Seri Abdul Hamid said the border security duties are not at all easy and due praise must be given to all those involved in the operation.
Kawasan penugasan kawasan ini adalah kawasan yang begitu sensitif di mana kegiatan-kegiatan menyeludup senjata api misalnya berlaku di sini. Jadi kita tidak boleh menolak kemungkinan sesuatu yang buruk berlaku sekiranya kita tidak mengambil sikap bersiap sedia sepanjang masa untuk menghadapi apa juga risiko.
Datuk Seri Abdul Hamid said this to reporters at a press conference at Markas Tactical PGA Lubuk Setol in Rantau Panjang. Meanwhile, he also reminded them to practice more integrity and caution when carrying out tasks to avoid any untoward incidents from happening. A former senior officer of a company who carries the title of Datuk has been remanded for 4 days beginning today to assist in a probe over an alleged 135 million ringgit corruption case involving the purchase of armoured vehicles. Assistant Registrar Siti Roslizawati Muhammad Zanin issued the remand order to allow Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, to investigate the case under Section 16A of the MACC Act 2009. Sources said the man was being investigated for working with then Chief Executive Officer who allegedly accepted money in return for contracts to supply equipment for the Armed Forces Armoured Vehicles, the AV-8, and Adnan carriers. The AV-8 is a multi-role wheeled armoured vehicle, while the Adnan is an armoured vehicle carrier. MACC Deputy Chief Commissioner of Operations, Datuk Seri Azam Baki, said there will be more people summoned over the case, which he described as still in its early stages. So far, several high-ranking company executives, including a chief executive officer and a chief financial officer, had been remanded on allegations of graft in the defence contract worth 17 million ringgit. The Pulau Penang government has approved a total of 220,000 ringgit for maintenance projects in housing schemes in Taman Han Chiang, Georgetown. State Housing Development Committee Chairman Jagdeep Singh Deo said the projects included the upgrading and replacement of roofs, maintenance of lifts and repainting of all houses. Jagdeep said the program provides funding for the upgrade and repair works at low-cost houses and low-medium-cost flats or apartments. He said the program also aimed to help alleviate financial burden of the people.
Untuk makluman semua, di bawah skim tabung penyelenggaraan maksimum ini, sejak kita wujudkannya, kita telah pun menyalurkan sejumlah 32 juta 15,256 ringgit terhadap pelbagai projek-projek di negeri Pulau Pinang.
Jagdeep said this when announcing another maintenance project by the state government for residents in Taman Han Chiang, Datuk Kramat, where he is also an assemblyman. Taxi drivers in Pulau Pinang have come up with a smartphone application to fight off stiff competition from e-hailing firm Grab. Now called CallMeCab, the Pulau Pinang Taxi Association Gabungan President Muhammad Suhaimi Hazri said the app is now being used by some 500 taxi drivers statewide. Speaking at the app launch in Georgetown today, Muhammad Suhaimi said taxi drivers in the state had in recent years lost more than 80% of its business to Grab.
Daftaran lebih kurang 500 pemandu yang mendaftar. Ini Di Penang lebih kurang lebih kurang 2,000 lebih lah. Jadi saya nak minta supaya semua pengguna Penang berdaftar dengan CallMeCab.
He also reassured users that taxi drivers using the CallMeCab app will strictly follow the rates displayed in the app. He said currently the app only applies for rides around the island but hope to extend it to Sungai Petani Kedah in the future. The CallMeCab app kicked off in Klang Valley last December by two other groups, Angkatan Koperasi Kebangsaan Malaysia Berhad, together with Pertubuhan Memandu, Pengusaha Taksi Limousine dan Kereta Sewa Malaysia for taxi rides to and from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA. However, the app hit a snag in KLIA due to technical issues with the Malaysia Airport Berhad, resulting in a pause of its use. The implementation of various economic stimulus initiatives in an austere manner will improve the performance of the gross domestic product, or GDP, in the third and fourth quarters of this year. Economic advisor to Selangor Menteri Besar Dr. Zulkifli Zakaria said the positive performance of GDP in turn will reflect the country's better economic prospects this year. The government's move to continue mega projects while simultaneously settling national debt in stages will strengthen the economy in the short term and the long term.
Pada pendapat saya, ekonomi kita akan terus berkembang dan sekiranya kita boleh capai KDNK ini pada tahap 4.9 ataupun 5 pada suku ke-3 atau ke-4, maka ini boleh menjelaskan lagi bahawasanya ekonomi kita mula membawa bibit-bibit yang baik, rancangan yang amat baik dan boleh maju ke hadapan.
Elaborating on the GDP's performance in the first quarter of 2019, Dr. Zulkifli told RTM that the GDP's boosted performance was also influenced by the entry of foreign tourists, especially from China to Malaysia. Tourists from mainland China are big spenders in Malaysia thanks to the ease of Alipay electronic wallet introduced by China's Alibaba company. In addition, the ringgit is valued lower against the euro, attracting tourists from Europe to shop in Malaysia. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KPDNHEP, in Labuan has fixed the maximum price for 18 controlled items for 30 days from the 21st of May to the 19th of June in conjunction with Aidilfitri, expected to fall on the 5th of June. Labuan MP Dato' Rosman Isli said the scheme would be implemented in accordance with the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011. Speaking to reporters at the launch of Hari Raya and Keamatan Festive Season's Maximum Price Scheme 2019 at the Bataras Hypermarket, Dato' Rosman said the ministry also listed a total of 14 of controlled items under the Keamatan Festive Season Price Control Scheme 2019. He said the scheme would be applied for 14 days from the 23rd of May until the 5th of June.
Saya mengharap semua kedai runcit di Labuan akan observe lah, akan patuh dengan program skim ini. Selain daripada hari perayaan pun kita berharap kita punya projek-projek dapat sama-sama memastikan kos sara hidup tidak naik. Jadi kita janganlah ambil kesempatan.
The control items include, among others, live chicken, standard chicken, super chicken, chicken wing, chicken eggs grades A, B and C, imported buffalo meat from India, shallots, garlic and dried chilies. The Johor Bahru Magistrates Court in Johor fined a food stall assistant 700 ringgit for the charge of possessing 153 kilograms of beef without any identification. The beef were found without a veterinary health certificate nor a slaughterhouse certificate of authorization from the Johor Veterinary Services Director. The accused, Muhammad Zairi Awang Hamad, 31, pleaded guilty before Magistrate Norasida Abdurrahman. The accused was found to have violated the provisions in accordance with Rule 5, Subsection 3, Rules of Animals, Control of Slaughter 2009, Animals Act, Amendment 2013, Act A 1452. The cattle were alleged to have been slaughtered outside an abattoir approved or licensed by the department. The inspection on 3rd of April found beef in a four-wheel drive in the Pandan wholesale market in Johor Bahru. And that concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, 6 die as Indonesians protest alleged fraud in election results. News on 2 will come on again at 12:15 tomorrow afternoon with more updates. Till then, I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching.